Hey you guys, this is Painting Platinum number 64, I think. I looked back a little bit, I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's 64. Hey you guys, let's see. Let me look at the chat. We have some exciting things to look at today. So I have all of the ReaperCon paints with me, and I also have a new mini to paint. So, let me just move this a little better. This has probably been the fastest I've ever set up for a stream, so bear with me. So, I'll show you the new mini first. Okay, so I'm gonna be painting this knight riding a dinosaur. So a few weeks back, I decided that I'm gonna draw a tarot card and I'm going to paint something inspired by whatever I draw. So luckily I drew something kind of easy. Let's see, I got the Knight of Cups. So a knight on a horse, gray horse, kind of walking, not standing still, not running, like not kind of reared up all crazy, but yeah, so knight, blue armor, gray horse. There's a little bit of yellow in there. I don't know if I'll get into that, but so I looked at what we had and I was like, why not a dinosaur? I mean, hold on, actually, oops, okay. So all right, dinosaur and guy, and I'm really new to painting multiple part minis. Howdy, Albevison. So you glue minis. I know that sometimes you pen them. I don't know anything about that, but I'm assuming that just gives it more structure if it doesn't want to just stay together glued. And you can paint before you glue something or after you glue something, depending on the mini. Like I asked Anne about this one time, when do you glue it? And she said it just depends on the mini and what is easier for the individual piece. So I'm looking at this. I want to say it's going to be easier to glue after. My thinking is it's really big and it's kind of an awkward shape. It goes on a base. It's that's just my opinion with my very limited knowledge. So today I'm going to prep this. I'm going to use I didn't grab a file, so I'm just going to use the scalpel and kind of trim it up, do whatever. The shield's like practically perfect. Actually, cute little shield. That's, I think, what drew me to this. This had a neat shield, and also it has hair. And I want to paint with the ReaperCon colors. I'm not sure kind of what's going on in the back. I'm gonna have to really look at that up close with my glasses on. But yeah, so I want to paint with the ReaperCon colors, and I think there are some that might be really pretty as red hair. I'll just have to check it out. So let's go over that. I'm gonna see how well I made this little tile with all the ReaperCon colors on it, and I don't know how well it's gonna transfer onto stream, but I have all the paints anyway, but this is just kind of a quick look. And I think I'll show these off better. I know Rhonda's shown some off on her stream last Monday, but I didn't have all of them done because I've been kind of bad about finishing it. So yeah, let me see just how much of this I can accommodate on the camera and if I can get accurate colors. I probably will, but you'll see the messy desk. That's okay. Okay, so This is just a broad look at all of the colors that if you got the mega bundle you would get. So the first set, I have Goggler Green, and then I have Drow Skin, Bethalian Mauve, Troglodyte Tan, and then each of the 3 fast palettes are going to have a liner. So this is, let me see, not this one. That might be the one I forgot. I will grab it because I'll need it. But let me grab that in a little bit. Shoot, I should have checked that. Anyway, there's also the metallic here, and I'll grab that when I grab this. Darkreach Shadows, I think is the name. I'll have to check that out. So anyway, moving on to our next little fast palette. We have, oh, thanks for the sub, T McDuff. Necromancer Purple. I'll show you that on a mini or on a palette because I talked about this on Reaper Live a little bit, but this color sort of reminds me of Succubus Kiss or of Gothic Crimson. Yeah, Gothic Crimson. Whereas it's really, really bright and pretty thinned out, and it also goes really, really deep. I really, really like this color. Wraith Steel. I'm gonna shake this up. This is our second metallic. It is a greenish blue metallic, kind of a muted metallic, not really bright. Like if you got the hot blue, it's not like hot blue. It's a little closer to how the blue titanium and green titanium are, but it's kind of blue green. Let's see. Death Knight Black is also a liner. This is kind of a inspired by Payne's Gray. So I had a really cool prototype that Anne left. That's what these 1, 2, and this one are. They are Anne prototypes that we gave away, or similar to Anne prototypes that we gave away in the mystery bags. You might remember that maybe a year ago. So we have that. This is a really cool one. So, hi Skelsey. This doesn't really show it that well, but you can kind of get an idea of it all together. So there's something in makeup, they call it, when you look at a palette, they call it the color story. And as I understand it, it's just everything all together, how it looks, what you have with it. So, Vampire Pallor fills a hole that was left in our color line and on our hearts by Maggot White leaving. So some artist had said that they really liked what Maggot White did, so we created something that filled that hole, which is kind of the way I think about creating new colors, is what don't we have? So that's something we didn't have. But yeah, Vampire Pallor, very, very pretty. And then Gnawed Bone. So kind of between Troglodyte Tan and Gnawed Bone, I think that Troglodyte Tan is more yellow. Gnawed Bone is more, maybe more beige, more neutral. Looks like it could be a skin tone too. So that's really nice. Okay, then, sorry, I'm just shoving stuff around, but that's okay. I don't know if I said hi Scott Beal, but hello Scott Beal. Let's see what else we have. Okay, Basilisk Green. You'll really want that if you've been missing, I don't remember which color it was, but it's kind of a green that we don't have right now. So really pretty, very similar to that Necromancer Purple. It goes really nice and bright and has a lot of depth to it. So I really like that color. Rogue Shadow. This is kind of a in person, it's kind of like a purpley, that's not gonna work. Well, whatever. It was a nice try. Kind of a purpley muted brown liner. So warmer brown liner, I would say. Hobgoblin blue, just a really nice kind of off blue. Golden Griffin tan, or Golden Griffin brown rather. This one's gonna be really popular. So this is another one that, I think Anne talked about one color being an almost clear, and you'll really want this color. So, so this one's really cool. So we have a lot of warm yellows, like fire colors, whatever. And this is going to be the brightest of those. So lightest, brightest is Torchlight. And it's actually really, really high coverage. And I love high coverage yellow. Yeah, Ron said the same thing, Francis. I tape it off with washi tape. And then whenever I finish, this is so anal, and I think it's more like zen and relaxation than really helpful. But also I'm a perfectionist, and I'm trying to work on it because it ends up with things taking a lot longer than they should. But I tape it off with washi tape, and then I take a scalpel and I outline it, and then I pull it off. And if I have to, I take acetone and a little cleanup brush, and I clean up the edges. So kind of nail tech things, right? So I need to put all the metallics on one tile so I can kind of move them around. Forge Glow it's sort of an alternative replacement to, I think it was Fire Glow in Pro Paint. So this and Afterburn from RVE are both really bright, glowy, fiery colors. I would have to look at them together to remember the difference, but I think this one's orangier and that one's redder. But very, very pretty. This is the, so these have kind of all different amounts of sheen, amounts of sparkle. So I'll show you later when I show you, I'll have to grab this other metallic, but I think the shiniest would be, I'll show you these in a second. So that's these minus the ones that I couldn't fit on here. Then I'll show you the triads. Okay, so you'll have to forgive me. I'll have to kind of hold this up because I don't really have space for it. These on the bottom are the triads. This is the VIP triad, and this is the swag triad. The color's kind of off, but this is Black Pearl, Rusted Anchor, and Brinewind Brass that I showed you. So I would say Brinewind Brass is going to be your brightest, sparkliest, followed by Forge Glow. Then, let me see if I can't make this. Wraith Steel. There it is. And then Burnished Platinum. And then this Black Pearl is more like pearlescent. It's still sparkly, but more kind of pearlescent. So, yay! I'm very excited about those. Yeah, Francis, I feel the same way. I literally think, you know, I don't know, at night when I get off work, I tend to kind of bullet journal and make things on the computer that are super perfect and geometric, and I've just kind of accepted, you know, like maybe I just like to draw squares and make things work. I don't know, sometimes. Maybe sometimes we should just give in to our weird stuff. Hi, Aishan Loki, within reason. Yeah, don't give in to something really weird and then be like, well, Sadie told me to go for it. Don't get me in trouble. Okay, so let's look at these. These are the ones I've just finished, this VIP triad. Man, I hate that I took some of these out to do stuff. But I have something else to show you on these, so that's okay. And then this is the last one I finished. This is the Wild Folk Gray. So I think I'm going to use this Wild Folk Gray on the dinosaur that our knight is riding. Let's see. but it's a really pretty purple gray, like muted purple gray, and I really, really like it. It might even be, so as you'll know, I don't know as much about the hobby and the creatures and stuff as everybody else, but it seems like it's probably a nice drow skin, but a little more purple. It's probably like two different alternatives to the drows in your head. Yeah, exactly. Casmania, anything fun I should expect? I really don't get a chance to watch the Clever Crow, the Crow's Nest, that much, other than being thrown under the bus. I'm really excited. Always down to interact with artists when I'm not like inflicting myself on them. I feel like fangirly and annoying, so I stay out of everybody's way. So yeah, these are the trads. I'm not as good at telling people what specific kits these are in, but I know this is the VIP one. And I'd love to see us keep creating skin tones, like fantasy skin tones and new and different ones, and maybe some to replace the ones that we're missing. So I just have to, I really don't usually like to do this, but I'm going to grab those other paints. So if you would, maybe if I look around my office, I can find a few, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to really, thank you guys. Yeah, I'm glad you like them. I get really excited, but I also get very nervous when it comes to making new colors, and I feel so bad because I have to lean so much on Ron to create these. A lot of times I think if I would just trust my instincts, I would be okay, but you know, I just really want these to be useful, and that's what I struggle with. Like, anybody I think can find a color that's pretty to them, and then anybody who has a little bit more training, like a low amount of training in art and paint and whatever, can make them. But somebody that can make them useful and then tell people how to use them, that's pretty rare. That's why Anne was so special to Reaper. So hopefully I've picked up enough that I can make something useful. M. Groening says, it comes with experience, it takes time, but you have great instincts. Thank you. So let me be right back. Let me go grab that stuff. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Thank you, Socrates. Well, thank you. We appreciate you. Okay, so these are the colors I was missing. Dark Reach Shadows is a really, really pretty blue that goes really sheer, really dark. So what you'll notice with these is I may have something that says bones, and it probably covers really well, but it still might be kind of sheer. So these I wouldn't put firmly in the bones paint category, but they do have a bones label on them. So just so you know, that's kind of what's up with that. But they're very, very nice. And the thing that I'm moving away from is trying to find something that I really like and go hardcore all into it. Like I'd like to kind of keep some of the sheer nice colors coming, because those have their uses too. And until I have this situation where I know all of these techniques. I just kind of have to trust what people like. So of the liners, this is the most sheer. I think that would be the most opaque and pigmented, but the Death Knight Black is definitely definitely right up there with the Rogue Shadow. They're both really dark and pretty. And I didn't bring it, but on a paper, I kind of swatched all the different liners that we have, and I don't know, it's kind of a nice addition. Well, now I can't see it, and I know it's in here because I just had it, but you know what, whatever. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So these are our liners. And yes, Darkreach Shadows, Death Knight Black, and Rogue Shadow are all 3 liners, and there's 1 in each fast palette. So what's really neat about liners is that people use them to prime, and what's really funny is I used a different tile the other day, and then I cleaned it off because I didn't like it, and these were so hard to remove. They just kind of stick. Yes, it's not the exact same because we didn't have a formula with it, but it matches pretty well. Okay, so that's what I've got. I'm very excited about it. I think we're gonna send the colors Rhonda didn't have out to her. I think that Michael Proctor will have them by now, and I need to send some to Anne. I need to be better about that. Just getting stuff out to her so she knows kind of what's up and what's going on. So yeah, that's what I've got going. Now I'm going to try and get this cleaned up as quickly as possible. We probably really won't paint today, but maybe I'll finish early and I'll just play with paint on a palette so we can kind of see. Oh, there is one more thing. So with these skin colors, I went over them with Ron and I made sure that they would work or whatever right away. That's not it. Anyway, but I wanted to, because they're skin colors, I just wanted to make sure that they would look good. So anyway, when I finished 2 of the VIP colors, I was up here at night and I just very quickly like busted out little dragon heads. So this is the, what skin color was that? This was the Dragon Folk Red. And I really like it, even for just like slapped on there and nothing else. And then this is the Hellborn Red. So I really, really like these a whole lot. And I would actually use these for the dinosaur, but I am trying to stick to the tarot theme. And he was on a gray horse, and I do have a really pretty gray. So I'm going to use the Dragon Folk Gray. All right. So these are very dangerous. They use them in casting. I have to be very careful not to leave them out. But got a little scalpel here, and I'm just gonna go over areas that have, this mini seems to have flash. Now we do like QC these, but there's always gonna be a certain amount that you have to kind of mess with. So yeah, that's what we've got. And it's very soft. So in the same way that a lot of times you'll get a mini with a sword, when you have flash, it's really easy to bend over and kind of take off with your fingernail. I think that's what I was told when I learned casting, is like something that you could kind of scrape off is fine, but you just don't want something that's, you know, excessive. When we were having paint club in person, I think I did one paint club where I was kind of the, I don't know, the paint club facilitator, like just there to kind of check things out, whatever. And we had a kid come in with his friend, and he was, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but he seemed so ADHD. You know, he'd never done it before, and then he wanted to modify something, and then he wanted to do something different, like whatever, whatever. Really, really funny, really nice kid. But I let him use the scalpel. And I knew I shouldn't at the time. I was like, no, I shouldn't let this kid use this. I don't know. He might have been like 15, but kid used the scalpel, but he used it and then he cut himself. It's not funny. I mean, it wasn't bad. He was fine. But I was so nervous about it. And he was like, I'll just tell my parents that I stabbed myself with a pencil. And I'm thinking like, don't tell your parents anything. Like, shit. So that was my kind of, I don't know. I'm sure I'd get better. But really fun kid. Sometimes we all kind of need a little bit of that energy. The, oh my god, shiny new energy. Oh yeah, so for every 5 subs we get, I'll give away a paint. I have 2 mystery paints right now. If it were close, I would show you, but one is kind of like key lime pie green. Green yellow. It's really pretty. So, mystery paints for every 5 subs. I think we have 2 subs right now. So, hashtag free is not open, but yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay. I might even be looking at mold shift. I don't know though. I know just enough to get myself into trouble with casting. So, okay. I'm really excited to be finished with the ReaperCon colors and able to move on. We're sort of thinking that new colors are going to be a constant for a little while, so it'll be just on to the next formulation project. And whenever I finish my paint swatches that I always talk about finishing, I can better fill in holes and make sure I don't cover new ground or cover old ground, whatever. Redo a color. It's so easy to do. Like when I was doing RVE, oops, I had a really easy time wandering into a color that already existed, but I usually change the coverage. Like I was really obsessed with super high coverage for a while, which I guess I still am, but it's not everything. Everything in moderation, including moderation. All right, so the surefire way to find all the imperfections in Flash for me is to paint it. I swear every time, I'm trying to be really, really focused on this because every time I paint something, I'm like, that is so glaring. I can't believe it. Thank you, Francis. So, Crows and Bones, I showed off all the new colors. I'll probably do that at the end too, though. So what we'll do is we'll play and paint at the end since I'm prepping a mini. I'm going to leave right at 4 today. 4 to 4:10 kind of thing. Essentially, I'm on the upside of letting everything but work kind of slide. Still on a journey of being more productive with my time and getting more things done in a balanced way. And I've got new things going as far as procedure. Ever since I was out injured, I've been slowly training Bren to be our backup paint mixer. And it's made me look at the way things are done a lot. And there are a few things that we've changed just to streamline both the mixing process and the pumping process. So that's been exciting because I really like processes and, oh, thanks for the gift sub. I love that. Well, we'll definitely be showing it a lot, Crows and Bones. I'm really excited about this set. And I actually thought, I was like, well, I'm just going to paint with those, so I don't really need to do anything else. But I'm probably not going to get to painting today. Probably definitely not going to, because I'm slow. But I'd like to use these colors to ReaperCon. Hopefully not on this mini. That moment when you realize you're probably going to be working on this mini at ReaperCon. But that's okay. The whole point of this show, really, other than getting on our channel and not having much structure, is really watching somebody paint from super beginner and get better. That'll probably just take a really long time for me because most weeks I don't paint at all except for on the show. And that's what's, ooh, that was weird. That's one thing Anne told me about when she really got better. I think it was when she tried to get better. I think that's when she was like, okay, it's time to get really good at painting, and she really buckled down and did it. Okay, so this is another thing. I swear, readers, like when you take them off, it kind of messes up your eyes a little bit. Okay. No, that's not a feature. That is a mistake. A flaw. Yeah, we love that, Socrates. It's a pretty unique place. I've worked here and worked and left and come back many times because it's very unique, and people are great. People in this hobby are awesome. I really used to love having ReaperCon here and meeting everybody and having everybody kind of see it. And somebody said something to me when I was younger about working at the place that people want to be. That's really good. You know, there's some places that people don't really want to be when they go, but the game store is where you want to be. Okay, so it looks like, number one, I don't know if this is just an elf, but it has sort of androgynous features and long hair. I wish I would have, see, I picked another mini, but we didn't have it. And then I had this one too, but I forgot who sculpted it. I'm actually going to check that right now because that's important. It's a really fun mini that it's always fun to find minis that you might not know about. And it's a Warlord. And for the most part, Warlord, I don't think is as popular. Best kept secret minis. Okay. His name is, his or her name, whatever you choose, is Darkrime Drake. Probably his, probably male. And it is 14628, and it's sculpted by Bobby Jackson. For the most part, I think I choose Bobby Jackson minis to paint, and what is her name? Sandra Garrity. Sandra Garrity was the other one. I can pick out those Sandra Garrity minis anytime. They're very, very pretty, but very nice sculpt. Dark Elf because of T-Rex. Maybe are Dark Elves connected to T-Rexes? There are so many times when I'm at home and I'm listening to a podcast and I think your time would be so much better served if you would watch painting videos. But it's really hard for me to actually watch a video. It's really, really, really hard, to the point where I'm learning some digital art and most help you find is a video. And it's so hard for me, which is funny because my boyfriend would always rather watch a video. Like, he doesn't look at recipes. He'll watch a video of something made and make it from the video, you know? So I think it's just different people. Oh my goodness. So I just did the math. This is Crows and Bones. I have 633 miniatures, including my Bones 5 purchases. If I manage to finish one model per week, imagining that I'll never buy more minis, I will finish in around 12 years. Maybe I need to change my strategy and develop speed painting skills. There is that superstition or joke that when you finish your last mini, you die, so not necessarily a bad thing. My problem is not the unpainted minis, it's the painted minis. Mind you, I just go grab a new mini whenever I want one, but God, I've got so many painted minis that I just kind of, I'm like, I kind of just want to melt them. I have video proof of them, like I have evidence, so we'll see. Oh my gosh, Francis, you're right. I'm the same way. I think Daryl's the same way. Daryl, who used to work in paint, and that's why he's so good as a sculptor. And I think he cleans up minis as well. Maybe the master, whatever master prints. I don't know too much about that side of things, but that's what it seems like he does. Okay. Oh, it's so nice. I like actually like scrubbing them, cleaning them, because I used to just grab the bones and paint them, and I did notice that it behaves a lot better when you like wash them. So I'm sure they have some kind of mold release on them. Pretty sure that wasn't supposed to be there unless this dinosaur had a growth, which is possible. Okay. Ooh, I use a special toothbrush and rosemary scented dish soap dedicated to my minis. I just want them to be magically ready to paint with no mold lines, no washing needed. Wouldn't that be great? Just having somebody who's like, oh, I've got a bunch of commissions to do, and their only job is like cleaning and like sending them off. Oh yeah, that's true. The Kickstarters. I backed our Kickstarter, so I've got the busts coming, which I'm very excited about. And it's an exercise in delayed gratification. I never think about it like this, but one of our guys that works in the, he works in paint right now, but he'll be going back to the game store whenever the new one's done. He said that the Kickstarter price is actually better than our employee price, so it's pretty neat. You know, I think that's why most people do it, but I don't know. To me, it's, I don't know, almost like a game, as weird as that is. Something to get excited about. I think there's Flash. No, that's his little, I don't know, part of his body. I can't tell. I think it's the backside of this. Yeah, it's just awkwardly sharp. Maybe not. No, I think, is that his little, no, it's not his elbow. Yeah, I think that's got to come off. Unless it's his little neck, like, what are the chicken things called? They're little chicken necks, turkey necks, little beard. I don't know. See, when I look at it from this side, I'm like, that doesn't need to be cut off. But when I look at it from this side, I'm like, that's definitely not part of this. It needs to come off. Yeah, Francis, I don't actually do it because I don't plan well enough to do this, but I love watching those coupon people. Oh my God. There's this lady on Instagram that I followed, and she's like, I pretty much don't buy, what was it? I think it was like hand soap, and she got paper towels really cheap. And I was like, holy shit, every time I buy paper towels, I'm like, paper towels are expensive. And here this lady is just buying them when she gets good deals on them. You're gonna use paper towels. Though I try to use less. I try to keep rags everywhere now. Like, I use those microfiber car towels everywhere. And these dish towels. And I try to leave them all over the paint department. Like when I dry my hands. Because I'm constantly, as you can tell by my nails, I'm constantly having my fingers get pigment on them. And it doesn't come off very easy. But, so if I'm not like scrubbing, washing my hands, I'm rinsing them. And, I'd be using so much in paper towels if it weren't for having little rags everywhere. Okay. Man. God almighty. She has like 50 bottles of shampoo she got for 50 cents each. Yeah, that is a lot of work. I'd like to think if I were a stay-at-home person, I would do that, but I probably wouldn't. That's true. I don't have enough hair to need 50 bottles of shampoo in my life. I use so I use professional shampoo and I use way too much of it and I waste it. And I know I'm doing it. I don't know what my problem is. I waste so much shampoo. Cuz you're only supposed to need like, especially if it's a more concentrated one, you only need like that much, and then you put water in it and you squish it together. But I'll just like dump it all over, and I don't have that much hair. I only have hair like down to here. And it's so damaged and thinned out. I think I'm about to have to pixie cut it, which I'm not excited about because I sure did gain a few during COVID, during I guess the lockdown, even though I wasn't locked down. I was just especially emboldened in my introverted lifestyle and still worked. Oh yeah, teenagers need a lot of shampoo. I can't tell you when I did hair how many people I had bring in their like teenage, usually boys, but I did a lot of men's hair, and kind of be like, will you tell him he's really gotta for real wash his hair? Like not just like wash his hair. And yeah, that's when this is the most bizarre thing, but I heard somebody talking about it on a podcast, how like some people smell like wet dog, and I've never noticed that, but when you shampoo kids' hair, they smell like wet dog to me. But like that ends when you're a teenager. And I don't know if it's like a lack of product makes you just smell like you're home. I don't know if they just like pick up whatever's in the air and that's why dogs smell like that. I don't know, but it's the most bizarre thing. Bizarre. And then they get older and then everybody smells different. But there's like subgroups of people, so I'll be like, that's why my brain works so well for paint. I'll be like, oh, this client smells, their hair smells like this client, whatever. And I'll make all these weird, like if you're going to remember who people are, you make all these weird sort of comparisons. Like, I had a guy when I did men's hair who, he was always hot. Like his face was always hot. Like I always thought he had a fever. And then I'd seen him maybe 3 times and I knew who he was. Like sometimes you have trouble and I was like, oh yeah, it's the really hot guy. But like hot. Maybe they cuddle and sleep with their dogs. They might. I remember being a kid though and like you have to wash your hair because you have dirt in it. I mean, I'm still like that, but it's pigment, not dirt. Oh, let's see if I have some primer. Sorry, guys. Yawned right into the mic. Oh, I know I have primer in here. I think I'm about to have to go grab it, though. Okay. No, never got the hot guy and the hot guy confused. I don't think I had 2 different hot guys. But he did tell me that that his kids were like that too. Like always felt like they had a fever. Yeah, Ed gave me that, or Dave. Somebody, I was like really looking at it and somebody was like, oh, there you go. You take it. So I put it on my little ottoman, which is the nicest thing ever. I have a work ottoman that I used to occasionally take a lunch nap on. Like move up a chair and it's a perfect little bed. I don't know if lunch naps are things that most adults do, but I find that, and I used to hate people that said this, but like a 20-minute nap makes you feel so much better. And I used to be like, what an animal. Like if you're going to take a nap, you need to take a real nap. But it is true. I've become the man. Oh, reward students with the futon. Yeah. I feel really bad because I slept in school a lot. I stopped when I got to college. But I don't know. I think I've got a sleep disorder. Which is possible. Because I know I have somebody in my family with narcolepsy. So it wouldn't be the biggest stretch in the world if yeah, I have a sleep disorder. But also I talk in my sleep. And I don't know. So yeah. But sometimes I just need a nap. All right. Let's prime the dinosaur. I love brush on primer so much. I really, really do. Like, I don't want to go outside and spray anything. I just really don't. I don't want to go to the spray booth. And there are certain types of climates and times of year where I think you can't as easily use spray primer. I really, really like it. Did they ever, like, I've never read anything about what color dinosaurs were supposed to be. Is there any way they could know that? Like if maybe dinosaur tissue got stuck in something? I'm sure it wouldn't maintain its color, but it does seem like dinosaurs are always kind of the same. Oh yeah, Reaper Vex. You know, Casmania, I still have never used one. I just kind of feel like it's above my pay grade. I guess, as an artist for now. But I'd like to try. Maybe one day. I really like his little face. Oh, sorry, I'm off. I'm out of frame. Oh, you know what? And I use this as a palette, but this works better like this. I think it helps you to be able to see it better without the, I think it's the white balance that gets messed up with something shiny. Yeah, they might. I know somebody got one because they kind of went up to Ed and they were like, I sort of like one. And there was one that was, I don't know, somehow mildly flawed. So she got it. Rex says, dinosaurs were likely bright colors like modern lizards, also depending on era too. Okay, so that makes sense. My husband says the fossilized skin color is still impossible to figure out because fossilization is basically those minerals and their color replaced the original materials. That makes sense. But yeah, we do have, in fact, when I babysat the farm, I actually, what's it called? I house sat a tortoise that is I think it's a sulcata tortoise, and it's gonna live to be older than my cousin that bought it. Like, that tortoise is going to be passed down. Jurassic dinos were different. I'm gonna have to read more about dinosaurs. It's one of those things that I never got into, and I was like, whatever. Other than the Jurassic Park, like, I think I was a kid when all the Jurassic Park movies came out, so that kind of reinvigorated the dinosaur thing. But really big stuff freaks me out. I've talked about this before. Like, anything really, really big, I get kind of, I don't know, fight or flight feeling from. So I'm not really a dinosaur person. And when I was a kid, when I went to the museum and stuff, like field trips, I was always scared of getting lost. Probably because that's all adults talked about whenever, that's true. Look up dino colors, lots of new research. I do love color research. That's the best kind of research. But yeah, so museums should have been kind of the thing for me, but I was like, oh God, I'm gonna get left here and then I'll get kidnapped. Francis, it's looking like outside the classrooms is the Hang with Sadie area. I've never worked ReaperCon before, so I'm really nervous, actually. I'm really nervous for a couple reasons. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and also, sorry, I'm off camera. Oh, feathers were common too. I do feel like I've heard that. I'm really nervous to leave the mixing area and have people come in and out of it. Like, it almost feels like my fort. I'm leaving the fort. But yeah, also that I'll be at the event not knowing what I'm doing, and people will know me before I know them. And yeah, but I will be, so far, I mean, plans change all the time, but so far I will be at the con helping get people, I don't know details about the job, but it seems like getting people to their appropriate classrooms. I'm a cat herder. Oh, Echoside. I've caught you at the Baller both times I did a tour during ReaperCons. Yeah, exactly. I've never worked at a con. I've always worked during a con. And even before that, I worked in just general production at some point. I take that back. I did the metal trade table. Just remember the cat milk you buy in the store does not come from cats. Never thought about it, but yeah, that is true. Yeah, I was actually thinking that OSOB X, most folks have been talking about putting their Twitch Discord handles on their name tags. That might help a bit. My favorite ReaperCon tag, those little ribbon stories, is there was a tour where I was working the machine and I had a big water on the table just open, and John was giving the tour and he climbed up on the table and he knocked the water down, and somebody pulls out this ribbon that says, "This is why we can't have nice things." I guess because they made it for when stuff like that happens. It just cracked me up. And can you imagine, like, not getting to use it the whole time? Like, what if nobody did something that showed why we can't have nice things? Or what if they had a whole bunch of them for situations that didn't come up? Like, it's just crazy. I should make one. I don't know what it's going to be, but I should make one. I've also thought about making a secret color, but I don't know if that'll happen. We'll see. Soon, TM. Oh, that's good, Hyper Bunny. Yeah, we don't think about it because a lot of us, I was never a part of the forum community, so it was all Facebook, and less so Facebook now. Like, I never or very rarely will get on Facebook. I spend most of my internet time scrolling on Reddit, and I shouldn't. Okay, I think I have a nice primed dinosaur. Okay, it's 4:02, but we'll go ahead and prime our guy, and maybe I'll put him in a special place so he doesn't get touched or unprimed, because I really am finding that touching these while you're painting them is the worst. I hate it when primer comes off. Yeah, Sadie secret paint could be fun. I don't know what it would be though. Something neat. Maybe I could make a Dragonfolk nipple, or a Hellborn nipple. Like the VIP triad, but nipple. I might actually do that. It'd be fun to kind of golden ticket stuff into internet orders like that. Like, here's, there's 18 bottles that are going into orders this month or something. It's kind of shitty because you couldn't necessarily get it. And I really hate that. Like, I hate to be exclusive. I'd like everybody to be able to get everything. Yeah, exactly. Add to Drow Skin and Drow Nipple Pink. And that's another question. Will I make Drow Nipple Pink this year? Because we released it in a triad. Still might be available. I'm not really sure about that. And yeah, I don't know if it's so in demand now. It used to be you had to get it from Anne, and when it was out, it was out. So we do our best to, like, keep things cool, but also make sure people who want things can get them. For a while, I think I talked about this way early, I was repainting Barbies. And now that I'm a little bit better at painting minis, I kind of want to go back and paint a Barbie. Maybe I'll do that on a different stream one day. Or, I mean, I don't know, this stream. I don't think it really matters that it's not a miniature if I'm using Reaper paint. Justin and I are talking about adding another stream either to Reaper or a, a separate channel. But especially recently, I've just been so, I don't know, not burnt out, but closer to burnt out on that burnt out, not burnt out spectrum. So I'm just kind of riding that line and trying not to overcommit, because luckily I'm like a recovering, chronically burnt out person, and I would get burnt out at jobs pretty frequently, but I haven't been that way since I've been mixing paint. I think there's just enough novelty in it and problem solving that I don't get that way, but I have like teetered on the edge a couple times, and I'm definitely in that. But it's more like I don't think it's workload or time as much as like expectations and feeling like confident and like you're doing a really good job. So yeah, I'm trying to like take it easy on myself. I'm gonna be really hard on myself. I think that's an artistic trait, so I'm sure you guys can relate that it's just so easy to be too hard on yourself and kind of, I mean, it's not like you're doing better work when you're too hard on yourself. It's not like, oh, this is all better now because I'm being real nutty, Oh, yeah, but it helps you identify things you can change. Oh, yeah, color is so therapeutic. I would say that's what I tell people who enjoy working in paint department, that that liking color is a big plus. So you're working in a warehouse and you're doing something repetitive. I like to be the typical old person and say, back when I was doing this, you would only be doing it with 2 people or maybe even 1 person. But if you like color, you're always going to be happy and excited to see what's next. Okay, so I think that's probably all I'm going to accomplish today. What I'm going to try and do this week is take a picture of these and determine what colors I'm going to use. But for now, we can just go ahead and take a look. Oh yeah, we didn't play in paint. I'll kind of smear out what I want to use. Let's see. And I'm going to do it over gray. I don't know how well it's going to work. It's not the cleanest gray in the world, but let's see. So I'm going to use this Wild Folk gray. It is a little like purpley, but if I really wanted to, I think if I really wanted to make this a neutral gray, I could take one of these yellowy bone colors and I could kind of wash it over that, and it would give me something that's less cool, more neutral or warm. I'm not really sure what I would call this gray. I think I would call it warm. It's definitely an off gray. It's not your middle of the road gray. Okay, so that's our Wild Folk gray we'll use for the dinosaur. I think if anything, this little background I have is a warm gray. I know we're gonna use Vampire Pallor because I love this color. I've said this before that Maggot White was my favorite color. That I really didn't try to interfere on colors because I liked them, but Maggot White was my favorite color. This one's going to be a little higher coverage. So we'll use that. I am definitely going to use Dark Reach shadows. I don't know for what. And I'm going to use Death Knight Black. I don't know. I'll probably use all 3 of the liners in different places. So I'll kind of squish those out. They're the ones I'm most excited about because they are just so pretty. They're just so pretty. Where did I put that? There it is. So Dark Reach Shadows. Kind of has like a deep blue indigo, and it goes really pretty in sheer. Really, really pretty color. Death Knight Black is Payne's Gray, and from what I understand, Payne's Gray is a really good mixing color that's softer than black. Oh, that's not. No, that is. And it's kind of balanced. It reminds me of 9479, the Artist's Black, I would say. I think that's what we call it, Artist's Black, because it's more like complex, and it's probably nicer for the eye to look at. I believe that's what Anne told me, that that type of black was for in the time of classical painting. Oh, it's right under the light. Let's see if I turn this light off, if it'll make it better. Sort of. Something's sort of missing with that. As far as color goes, maybe if I cover, no, I think we're gonna need that. It's probably just not good on gray, but really pretty. Brighter than black, more complex than black, can be used to darken. And then Rogue Shadow. I will find a place for that for sure. Maybe in this like chainmail stuff. I think it's chainmail. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just like armor. I'll use Rogue Shadow and then put a metallic over it. And I'm definitely going to use Wraith Steel and Burnished Platinum somewhere. This is also like warm gray brown. Good friends with Wild Folk Gray, I would say. Okay, so then Wraith Steel. What did I do with Wraith Steel? I keep this thinking I see it, and it's Hobgoblin Blue. Oh, here it is. Is that it? Yeah. I think this is meant to be like a magical metal. It's actually really, really pretty. Like, I don't think I've ever appreciated it more than I do right now, but it's very, very nice. Very proud of that one. Probably because this is one of the ones that I stressed out a lot and looked at it over and over and over again to the point where it gave me bad feelings, but I really like it. I put a lot of energy into metallics because I always want to make sure it's something new and cool. But we'll see it when it dries better. But it's really nice. What else will we use? Oh, let me try that. Let me try the mixing one of the off-whites with the gray. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that just over here on its own, and then I'm gonna mix it with the gray. because I think that'll give us a more neutral gray. This one's really bright and nice. High coverage, bright, nice. Oh, I'll show the yellow too, because that's something I was really impressed with on that tile. Some of these I had to go over a few times to make it just really, really perfect, and some of them were just awesome right off the bat, just at coverage. I mean, they're all awesome. Okay, so here's my 1-to-1 Wild Folk Gray and Nod Bone. Okay, so that kind of made it a taupe sort of color. Let me see about adding, I'm gonna take like a doot of Death Knight Black. One more doot, bigger doot. Oh my goodness. Okay, that worked really, really well. So yeah, how to get multiple tones out of Wild Folk Gray. You can go more beige with Nod Bone, or really cool neutral with Death Knight Black. And I could even cool it down more. And I like that because when formulating colors, I often do it from bottles rather than in a whole gallon. I'll just mix whatever I want. So I always keep on the bar the clear colors, certain browns, black and white. It's something Anne does, and I think she posted her Patreon about it. But that is really cool for me to have a lot of versatility in colors. So yeah, how to take that to that using that and that. I really like that. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else I should just, oh yeah, the yellow. We'll show the yellow, and then I'll remember next time what we should show off a little better. So here is my yellow. It looks so green, but it's not. It's an orangey yellow. Rhonda talked a little bit about this on one of her her streams, but something like yellow and even red are hard to get good coverage with, just by their nature, by their own features as a color. So high coverage isn't going to be as high coverage as a dark color, but it is a very high coverage yellow. Yes, so I do the wet palette sometimes, most of the time actually, but it means I have to hunt down a piece of parchment paper, and I'm not smart enough to keep it around like I should. I mean, it's somewhere, I just don't know where it is because I'm deeply disorganized at this point. Howdy, Chef of Love. So yeah, these are some of the new colors. Let me see if there's anything else. Yes, I'm gonna show off the Necromancer purple. I used a tip that somebody gave on the Reaper Facebook, and it was to take they have these boxes that you put your masks in. So you can have like clean, sanitized, whatever masks and pull them out. And they're just these little boxes. They're about like yay big. And you can buy the like sponge paper stuff, the thin sponges, and put it in there. And then you can put the parchment right on top of that. And it's really quick and easy and perfect. You can close it, but it'll mold, obviously. So this, I think, is actually going to be a really popular color. And it's even prettier, kind of thinned out. But really, really nice. And I feel like it cools quite a bit when it's dry. I'm such a sucker for Post-it notes. The last time I went to the office supply store, which is like, that's my dangerous place. I'm like, I'm not going to get any Post-it notes because, God, Post-it notes are actually kind of expensive. But they have these white ones, and I don't know why, just the novelty of white Post-it notes got to me. And then I get them, and I get them back to the office, and I'm like, it's really just white paper. Like, I don't know why I was so enamored with it, especially since it usually lives on the mixing bar where you know it's all going to get dirty. It's all going to get stuff on the sides of it, but I just had to have it. But yeah, this is it on white paper. Very, very pretty color. And I could honestly play with Necromancer Purple and Dark Reach Shadows like all day together. We'll just do one little more of that. Red Grass just did a Kickstarter of a meeting wet palette with mold resistant paper and sponge, and the parchment is washable and reusable. That's really cool. Oh, new wet palette. I was with you. Meeting me or whatever. I was with you. So, Dark Reach Shadows. Again, like such a pretty color. There's this guy on Instagram, and I can't remember his name. I know I've probably talked about this because I think it's so cool. But he'll take ordinary objects and put a piece of paper in front of them and mix paint and paint the color that's behind it. Like, just off the cuff. And it's so cool. I've thought about doing it. It's so neat. Okay, so that's like 1-to-1. Let's see. And that's like 2-to-1. So you can get some really kind of deep and mysterious colors out of those two together. Really, really, really nice. See, I want to use the Well palette, but everything dries up too fast for me. And then I watched Anne did that Thinning Your Paints class, and she showed the deep Well palettes and how the deep ones stayed better. And I'm sure you can use, is that what drying retarder is for? Or is drying retarder more for blending on a mini? I don't know. Still something that's kind of new to me. But I hate how it dries in a Well palette. I will use the back of something. I'm real bad about doing this with makeup too. Anything flat is going to get used as a palette. Anything. You can look at any of my stuff. I've gotten better about doing it on books. But like, you flip it over, it's going to have paint on it or makeup. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're working with right now. I am really, really excited to be using these the next couple of months. And forever. You know, a lot of these are definitely going to become little staples. So yeah, pretty stoked on it. So kind of stay tuned. I'm sure I'll talk more about these on Reaper Live. It's just about getting really good images. I hate when I have bad images of paint. on Reaper Live. I really hate it. But for whatever reason, I'm always running late for my Reaper Live preparations. Hi, Ashley the Month. We're about to check out, but we'll raid somebody good. I'll just show off one more time. I'll show off this big tile that has all the colors. Because, I mean, I spent all that time on it, right? We might as well just really get a lot out of it. Let's see. Kind of what I've got. So that is one fast palette. You can see the burnished platinum. Oh, we got 5 subs. That's awesome. So we get to give away one mystery paint duo, we'll say. Oh, I love Treasure Map too. I really do. So these are, that's that off-white. It's green-white or yellow, green, white. And then, yeah, that is our 3rd fast palette. It's a really pretty green. And then this is our VIP triad. And this is the swag triad. Very, very nice. So the free is just a mystery paint. It is a, let me grab it. I'll just grab it. This is from a color that I made to match something that Ron wanted, and then it ended up not working out. But I've got it. It's really cool. And I tweaked it a little bit to make it fun. Okay, I'm gonna do something real special that I forgot I even had the stuff to do, but we'll also do a bottle of Retro Elderberry. So Retro Elderberry is a pro paint color. Oh shoot, I have to turn it on. Sorry about that. Okay, hashtag free is open. Perfect, guys. Okay, so Retro Elderberry we gave away. Oh, was it the Kickstarter party? The Pizza Dungeon party? Yeah. That is Retro Elderberry. Let me make sure I'm on frame, in frame. Just on a piece of paper so it's not that great. And then this is my key lime sample, which I'm gonna have to move this around so you can see it. Hold on, I think I need something gray again. We'll just start over on gray. All right, Retro Elderberry. Obligatory disclaimer, all colors will look differently in person just based on how my monitor's calibrated, how your monitor's calibrated, my camera, the lighting, etc. And that's my key lime color. It still doesn't look that accurate. Maybe I will turn that off. Turn this more forward. So our factory has AC, and in here it's like 70. I keep it pretty cool. Oh no, you saw my big old paint bottle? My quart. Yeah, people want but yeah, that's what we'll do. So let me go ahead and draw that winner. All right, our winner today is Nepharsis. You can type exclamation point I won something question mark, and it will give you the information with the email. You're very welcome. Just let Courtney know in your email that it's painting platinum number 64. So that's that. I think we covered a lot of ground today. We'll keep looking at these colors because they're really fun. I really, really like them. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Let me just check out Twitch and see who we're gonna raid. All right, we will do let's see. Eiffel Art has first time trying jelly gouache. Is that how you say it? Eiffel Art. So all right, so we're gonna go ahead and rate them. We will see you next time, and then Monday on we'll have Anne, and we'll have Bird with a Brush, Rhonda Bender show. So we'll see you next time. Be safe. We love you. Mwah. Have fun.